Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. News broke this morning that SEC Chair Gary Gensler is under investigation, and he has allegedly broken federal law. Here's a headline from Decrypt covering the story. Gary Gensler under fire for alleged political favoritism in SEC appointments. This is happening as we get news that a cryptocurrency exchange has capitulated to the SEC. You hate to see it. Here's the headline from Cointelegraph. eToro US to cease nearly all crypto trading following SEC settlement. That's right, they have given up, they have thrown in the towel and settled, and it's not good. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, of course, I will say, if there ends up being a change in administration in terms of which party is at the White House, Gary Gensler's probably going to be gone anyway. You may recall that SEC Chair Jay Clayton, several years ago, after Biden won, he exited stage left very quickly, which is, frankly, the reason that we even got that SEC v. Ripple lawsuit right before Christmas. That's because he filed it, you may recall, on his last day in office. If not for that, I don't even know if the lawsuit was ready to be filed, frankly. I mean, I think it was still going to happen, but it could have been after the bull market. Like, maybe we would have had XRP run, who knows? But all that to say, it's kind of customary when you have a change like this to have SEC chair perhaps step down. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a change, if we finally get rid of this Mr. Burns lookalike. That would be absolutely fantastic, because he just amazingly, it was even more terrible for crypto than Jay Clayton, if you can believe it. Well, I know you can because you've been following now, but going into this, several years ago, there was optimism that perhaps Gensler would be better than Clayton, but that absolutely was not the case. He was like, hold my beer. Anyway, piece reads as follows. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler has come under fire for allegedly hiring civil servants based on political affiliations, a violation of federal law. The allegations come from a joint letter sent by the House Judiciary, Financial Services, and Oversight Committees. While the allegations don't appear to overlap with crypto enforcement actions from the regulator, they do arrive at a time when firing Gensler has become one of Republican nominee Donald Trump's campaign promises as he runs for re-election. Yeah, and I saw a clip when Donald Trump was speaking at that Bitcoin conference, whatever it was. Was that the end of July? Within the last couple months, anyway. And he was talking about firing Gary Gensler, and the room just erupted. Like, yeah! And he was taken aback by that. He was like, oh, wow, that's a popular one. I was like, yes, you don't understand the degree to which we despise this guy because he's out here with the aim of harming our financial well-being. Yes, absolutely. And when Peace continues, the letter signed by Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick McHenry, and Oversight and Accountability Committee Chairman James Comer calls into question the appointment of Dr. Zhu, nailed it, as the SEC Director of Trading and Markets. The lawmakers allege that Dr. Zhu reassured Gensler of his political alignment following a call about his potential employment. They cited emails made public during an SEC rulemaking comment. Yeah, and so it is illegal to consider that. It's very clear that that is something, that is information that was sent that way, and then a decision was ultimately made. That ain't cool. That should not be a factor in employment here. Like, that's what the law says. And so anyway, Zhu wrote, and again, he did get hired, so he wrote the following. I believe I'm in the right place on the political spectrum, and I'm happy to provide as many details as needed so you feel comfortable. And he wrote that on November 19th, 2021, but before getting hired by the SEC. He said, quote, as this correspondence suggests, the lawmakers are. As this correspondent suggests, the SEC appears to be unlawfully considering an applicant's political ideology when hiring bureaucrats, a conclusion only reinforced by the SEC's hiring of individuals from left-leaning organizations to fill senior roles at the SEC, end quote. The committees argue that this exchange suggests a potential violation of the Civil Service Reform Act of 1978, which prohibits discrimination in federal hiring based on political affiliation. Yeah, so the SEC is a trash agency from the top to the bottom. Need to clean house so far as I'm concerned. Could not be more obvious. They're not operating in good faith, and that's why they're getting scolded from multiple judges in multiple cases. They are not here to protect us, despite the fact that that's part of their mission. Protect investors and help with capital formation. They are not doing these things. And then on top of that, and it's hilariously terrible, they miss an outright Ponzi scheme like Sam Bankman-Fried with FTX. They couldn't sniff that one out, but they go after Kim Kardashian. It's just a joke. It's an absolute joke. It's going to be interesting to see in the years and decades to come all of the movies that are made on this topic, because my God, that like the whole topic, it is ripe. It's ready to be plucked, and there will be. I mean, it'll be interesting. I'd be shocked if you don't have movies that are even specific about the XRP community and Ripple, because there's such huge stories there. Anyway, piece continues. This political climate places Gensler at the center of two high-profile issues: ongoing regulatory disputes with the crypto industry and internal controversies over the SEC's hiring practices. In light of these allegations, the committees are conducting oversight to determine whether the SEC has complied with federal law and other personnel decisions. They are specifically investigating whether political ideology has been a factor in hiring decisions under Gensler's leadership. The letter requests that Gensler provide documents and communications related to the hiring of directors, associate directors, and staff in the chair's office since April 2021, as well as any materials related to the consideration of political affiliations during the hiring process. And then they note that the SEC has until September 24th to comply with the request. So we'll see what comes. I'll keep you guys apprised of any developments on this, but, this could be a violation of federal law. That's what's alleged here, certainly. And on the surface, I'll certainly, at a minimum, happily say it doesn't look good. Then we have this from Cointelegraph, and you really hate to see this. You really do. This is capitulation to the SEC. And I always kind of wonder, I don't know if it's because there's a lack of a backbone here, or if there's not a sufficient war chest to fight. I mean, if it's literally the funding isn't there, maybe this is the right decision, even as disgusting as this whole thing is. But the headline from Cointelegraph: eToro US to cease nearly all crypto trading following SEC settlement. Popular stock trading platform eToro is ceasing trading for nearly all crypto assets after reaching a settlement with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. eToro was charged with operating an unregistered brokerage and clearing agency related to its crypto trading platform. The trading platform has agreed to pay $1.5 million to settle the charges related to its unregistered brokerage and clearing agency operations, the SEC announced on September 12th. As part of the settlement, eToro has agreed to make only a limited set of crypto assets available for trading in the U.S. and to cease violating applicable federal securities laws. Now, folks, do you want to guess which coins those are that they can trade? Surprisingly, sort of, not XRP. So they're going to be offering Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ether. Because reasons, folks. That's it. Even though XRP is legal clarity, it's Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and Ether that they're offering. And I can understand Bitcoin Cash just since it's a fork. For some reason, ETH, even though it's, it doesn't, there was that, the free pass from 2018, but that wasn't a real thing, right? it's in terms of, having any sort of legal backing. ETH does not have legal clarity. Of course, technically, Bitcoin doesn't either. So that's what they're doing. They're offering those. And so I saw this post from Paul Graywall. He's the chief legal officer over at Coinbase. And he said, they just conceded ETH is not offered as an investment contract security in secondary markets. And again, so referencing, that's what the SEC said. But SEC will not explain why ETH and Bitcoin, but no others, because they can't. There is no plan, no framework, no logic, no due process, and certainly no respect for the law. It doesn't make sense. But there you go. ETH's okay. Because reasons, folks. Because reasons. Completely absurd. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.